I never thought I'd ever be this popular. Look at this. Okay, fire away. I guess we got 10 minutes. Yes, sir.
Quick message to young Republicans. What would you tell them?
What I would say to young Republicans is that you are the future of this constitutional republic. I think that you must be the ones to carry on that banner. What we have to do is make sure that we establish the principles and values that enable you to carry forth that banner, and that's why I'm here.
What would you say to young Americans?
Hey, Tammy.
Hello, dear.
I'd say the same thing to young Americans for freedom. I think that, when you come to CPAC, the great thing is that you do see young people, and that's the message that we have to get out. It's that conservatism is no longer just the old stodgy white guy club. It is a club that brings together all different people, but it is a club that is based upon the principles and values, and I think that that's what I'm going to be talking about today.
Senator Barrett stepping down.
Well, the thing is, when you have a change of leadership, my first question is who fills that void? And there's a lot of euphoria, but one of the concerns is 19 days ago, no one could have seen this happen. And you see this wave occurring all across the Middle East: Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Yemen. King Abdullah in Jordan is very concerned. And we're talking about pulling out of Iraq at the end of this year. That's another void that will be created because Maliki has already said that he's not going to run again. And Muqtada al-Sadr has already come back from his little vacation over in Iran. So it's okay to be euphoric and be happy about the fact that the flame of freedom has been lit in an Arab nation, but not yet.
Sir, you're one of the Tea Party citizen candidates. What is the most surprising thing you found being in Congress, and the thing you like best now that you're there?
Well, the thing I like best is the fact that I took off a uniform, I put on a suit and tie, and I continue to serve the American people. For 22 years, I defended. But for 22 years, you're out there in some distant lands, and you're protecting the institutions, one of which you are now serving in. And that's just one of the great things. As far as what do I see bad? Well, it seems that when you cross the Potomac, this insular world that you have here in Washington, D.C., people have lost a perspective of reality. And I think that some of the, not just the new members, I think some of the people who have gotten very comfortable up here, they need to be the ones to go back and have some town hall meetings.
What do you think about the inclusion of the gay conservative group Go Crowd in the conference?
I don't have any problem with anyone exercising their liberty. And so, as far as my lifestyle, of course, I would not agree with that for me. But that's something that someone has to deal with themselves. And that's the great thing about the United States of America, is individual responsibility and accountability, is liberty. And I will tell you, you can contrast that over in the Islamic world where, a gay or a lesbian person would be hung for the fact that they have that belief. So, or that, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know what to call it.
What do you call it? What do you call it, Tim?
Where do you think where do you think libertarians fit in the Republican Party?
Well, the thing is, it's so funny when people talk about, too far to the left, too far to the right, moderate, or whatever. When you study the Constitution, you understand what the Founding Fathers did. The Constitution puts us right in the center. Okay? If you go too far to the left, that means great big government that is overarching. If you go too far to the right, you have too little government, you have anarchy. So I think what they did, they came up with a document that really does promote the liberty of the American people and the citizens and restraining the government. So I think that when you look at libertarians, you guys are just uber conservatives, on steroids. That's just about it.
Do you think Republicans in the freshman class are good enough to challenge the leadership in the House?
Well, you tell me. When the leadership comes and says we're only going to cut $38 billion, and then 24 hours later they say they're going to cut $100 billion.
How are you?
Do you think that the more conservative part of the party, particularly the freshman lawmakers, are getting a lot more respect over on Capitol? In other words, do you see them being sort of pushed out by any kind of leadership happening?
I got to tell you, if you look at what is happening, we're having an impact. And the thing is, the leadership and those of the establishment need to understand. They need to listen to what happened in the 2nd of November. Let's be very honest. Okay, this was not a result of a love affair with the Republican Party, what happened November 22. The American people definitely rejected the big government, liberal, progressive agenda that was coming from Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Harry Reid. But it's so important. You've got a window of opportunity, and if you don't take advantage of this right now, you will lose the credibility, you will lose your connection with the American people, and the Republicans got off path. And that's why they got kicked out in 2006. So right now we got to keep it on path.
Congressman, have you had a conversation with your colleagues on the Congressional Black Caucus about the true nature of the Tea Party movement and their openness to people of color?
Well, you know what's so funny? You know, when you think about it, you know, the Congressional Black Caucus, you know, here they have one of its members being the keynote speaker at the biggest gathering of conservatives in the United States of America. And I think that's what we wanted to see happen. We wanted to see a body politic that is not just in this, you know, microcosm over here, but it can be an impact player across the entire political spectrum in the United States of America. And this past week, I went to a Congressional Black Caucus Foundation reception, widely received, and you're sitting there and you're talking with black businessmen, and they have some concerns. And so you got to bring those things to the table. We all want the same thing at the end. Sometimes the means by which we want to get there are a little bit different, but you know, there are 41 of them, there's only one of me. It's pretty fair odds for me.
Congressman, the mainstream media have been rather viciously attacking strong Republican women. After this keynote speech, do you expect the mainstream media to make you a particular target as a black Republican?
I mean, I hadn't even been elected, and I mean, I'm the only black member of an all-white motorcycle gang, drugs, you know, prostitution. You know, the Cook Political Report and Political this week said I'm already the most vulnerable person out there. I mean, you know, but what that is, that's fear. And so, you know, you never let a military guy know that you're afraid of him.
There you
go. Just trying to.
Colonel, talking about your motorcycle, is that American-made motorcycle?
See, the quote-unquote conservative blogger of the year is from South Florida.